Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Raul Perez. I'm going to be taking you guys through a short documentary that I put together on Puerto Ricans and their complex relationship with the United States military. Just to provide some context for Puerto Ricans and the United States military, in 1917, the Jones-Shafroth Act granted American citizenship to Puerto Ricans just in time to fight World War One, as well as make them liable for the draft. The United States needed more soldiers for world wars and the Korean War. Adding to its servicemen, Puerto Ricans showed determination and strength. The duality of being good soldiers while being segregated in the military, their service was almost seen as an initiation fee to gain racial equality and respect as a citizen. And in United States history, we also see this with the African American community and the Asian community. They had to serve in the military to kind of show their loyalty and to prove something, even though they're already a citizen. So to touch on their military impact, in World War II, 65th Infantry was an all Puerto Rican regiment, also known as the Boricuaneers. After World War I, this regiment's soldiers were granted U.S. citizenship after being fully integrated into the military after training from 1920 to 1941. And right after that period of training, you can see them going straight into dangerous missions. Right here, seen in the Korean War, they had a large impact to certain battles, such as the Battle of Outpost Kelly, which cemented their regiment as resilient and heroic as they faced waves of Chinese artillery and militaristic dominance. The battle had the regiment under United Nations leadership trying to recapture the outpost from bolstered Chinese force. The men lost their ability to uphold the outpost for as long. With as many casualties as they faced, this showed their bravery and their capabilities as soldiers. So as we can see here in this depiction of the Boricuaneers, they're serving in that harsh, cold climate of the Korean War. And, these are Puerto Rican men. They grew up in tropical climate their whole life. They're not used to this type of cold, but them being able to prosper in a military standpoint shows their capability as a soldier to adapt to this harsh weather as people, fighting for those civil rights after the war and whatnot. They're going to have to adapt in the world the same way, but this shows their resilience and their ability to overcome a lot of those challenges that are coming their way. Systematic oppression challenges faced. So, Puerto Rican soldiers were victim to racism and prejudices while inside the military. They were subject to roles that were behind the lines until 1944 for deployment in France. While deployed, they had to deal with lower quality supplies and equipment. So, back to that Battle of Outpost Kelly, also shows a lack of supplies given from leadership. The only Puerto Rican who commanded a regular army regiment during the Korean War was Colonel Cordero Davila, who at the time of the battle would not order artillery because of the fear that they would somehow have friendly fire against his own men. This, along with future language barrier issues, resulted in the disenfranchisement of the regiment. While Jim Crow raged at home in the South, it was also upkept in the military, and non-white soldiers were segregated in barracks up until 1948, when Harry Truman desegregated the military through Executive Order 9981. Important things to know on the impact of politics. After serving their country and putting their life on the line, they came home to a nation that treated them as second-class citizens. This motivated activism in acquiring civil rights. And what I mean by that is, Puerto Rican activists often collaborated with African American civil rights movements, recognizing shared struggles and intersectionality of their discrimination they faced. The veterans that came home, they pushed for better education, jobs, and public policy. They just fought for a country, that they feel that they are a citizen and that they should not be treated as anything other as. And it's unfair to them that they had to go through that. And the reputation of the servicemen pushed against biases kept against Latino communities. In America, the 65th Regiment stood for Puerto Rican representation and inclusion and bettering relations with other races. And what I mean by that is that these Puerto Rican men, they were fighting side by side with other Americans of different races who, before going to war, probably held bias or prejudice against, certain or other communities. But put in the setting where you have to trust the guy next to you with your life, it makes you brothers at arms, which puts you beyond race or skin color. And hopefully these connections they built made it easier for them when they came back home to be seen as equal in those future civil rights movements. All right, just to wrap things up in the conclusion, Puerto Rican's prevalence in the United States military is often overlooked. Important insights can be seen in their stories. Regardless of the duality and treatment by the United States, they prove their cunning and their loyalty to their home. The 65th Regiment is still highly regarded in Puerto Rican community and its history. I just want to thank you guys for staying with me the whole video. I appreciate it all, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. My references are on the next page. Thank you.